On behalf of Preside, I would like to welcome you to this first of its kind launch of a clinical trial of an indigenously developed product in this country. It is indeed a proud moment for me, Your Excellency, because when you told me earlier in the year to find scientists and start working on solutions, I really didn't know which way to go. But this far we have come, Your Excellency, and I feel proud that I have some kind of accountability for the trust that you put in me. Your Excellency, after that assignment, I did a rapid assessment. I visited many laboratories in the country. I spoke to scientists to see what was available. And a summary of the findings was that, yes, indeed, we have significant research infrastructure in the country. The scientists have been working through writing grants, and they have put up significant infrastructure, laboratory equipment, although it was not coordinated to give us products. So we needed gap filling in order to have capacity to produce products. The second major finding was that although we have very highly skilled scientists, they were not oriented to products. And that has been a continuous and continues to be an engagement to continuously remind the science, please, we're working towards the product we are going to sell, we're working towards the product to save people. And one of them recently remarked and said, Dr. Musenero, it's a different thing to be a research scientist and a different thing to be a manufacturer, but I am changing. And Your Excellency, I can tell you that we have now a startup breed of scientists who look at the beginning of science in line of a product that we are going to have. Your Excellency, to help me do the work, I assembled a team of thinkers, and we constituted the entity you are repeatedly hearing, and you've received reports from me saying Preside, the Presidential Scientific Initiative on Epidemics, which you approved, and I've been honored to receive excellent support from the Right Honorable Prime Minister to make this platform function. Received a lot of support from the Right Honorable Minister Elioda in the Ministry of Science in handling these issues. I've also received a lot of support from the Ministry of Health. I've received a lot of support from Madame Nachove. She has been very, very supportive in helping us to bring up the entity that we can now talk about. Preside was officially launched in September last year by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Your Excellency, we also noted that the government funding that the science we are receiving was inadequate. There are some of these entities that receive funding, but most of the funding that is given to them is for maintaining the routine activities. And research focused on a product is a bit expensive. So the funds that we have received have given us a big boost, a very big boost. And we also encountered some issues with the regulatory environment. It isn't up to now, we are still working through, but right from the policies that guide the different phases of research, some of them are not clear. Some of our entities, like these entities like NDA, the UNBS, they have, up to this point, operated on monitoring imported products like vaccines and other things. They are not structured or equipped to help us inform the world that what we have produced internally is... They are slaves. So, that they are slaves? Your Excellency. So we have developed, therefore, a mechanism of action which we call the value chain approach. The funds we received are supporting activities starting from basic research in areas where we needed to know basic research, some of the funding, product development, where we already had enough information. In some areas, we had prototype products, but they were not finished, they were not market ready. As we move along, especially after this first year, Your Excellency, or even in the next 6 months, we need manufacturing capacity, because I've been amazed at how people can do when they are properly mobilized and supported. So within the second quarter of 2021, or the fourth quarter of the financial year 2020-2021, we will need large-scale manufacturing capacity for a number of our products, including vaccine, diagnostics. Your Excellency, for some of the diagnostics, we have funded a manufacturing facility in Kasangati, and we have been very grateful to receive very positive support from CIPLA. The lead scientist is here, Professor Joloba. Yeah, Your Excellency, I'm transforming him from a researcher to a manufacturer. And he thinks it is different. So he's going to give us, he's the one leading the PCR and antibody manufacturing unit. And I'm happy to report that we have received all the equipment now, and CIPLA is supporting the setup of the factory by these products. But at the same time, we have the modern science that has no connection with what is happening. So while we struggle and we face a lot of barriers accessing imported tools, potentially we can substitute a lot of those tools. And the main job that Preside has done is to bridge that barrier, bring the scientists to meet in the middle with the natural therapeutic people. And Your Excellency, I believe that this is a rich resource, and this first of its kind is leading many. We have a lot more efforts that are coming in this same area. So we are greatly appreciative that we have made this step. I want to thank the clinical team at Makerere, because when they first sat around the table, when I invited them, they sat there listening to Dr. Nambatia, looking at her like a witch doctor. But right now, they are colleagues. It has been a lot of learning for both sides. I had to make Dr. Nambatia accept what they are saying and make them accept what she's saying. And we have now come up with a team which will lead us not only through this, but it will lead us in many discoveries, because we have a lot of ideas. Your Excellency, I greatly appreciate for honoring this event, and I'm looking forward to bringing forth a lot more products and make you proud of this investment.
Your Excellency, today we are launching the clinical trial to assess the effectiveness of a natural homegrown traditional product for the treatment of COVID-19. This clinical trial is the first of its kind in Uganda, and it will be testing a natural product given to people in a hospital setting to test whether it is safe and efficacious in the management of COVID-19. I recall when you clearly told me that it is not the number of cases that are infected that we should be worried about, but we should be worried about controlling the deaths. Your Excellency, our teams have done a good job in ensuring that the deaths, although 318, have been minimized to smaller numbers. And I want to say a big thank you to them and to you for the guidance. A team of Ugandan scientists based at the Natural Chemotherapeutics Research Institute, Ministry of Health, in collaboration with Makerere University School of Medicine, Makerere University Lung Institute, Makerere University School of Public Health, Mulago Hospital, and the Presidential Scientific Initiative on Epidemics will subject this product to a thorough scientific assessment for its safety and effectiveness. The clinical trial has been approved by the health research regulatory agencies, that is the Uganda National Health Research Organization, the National Drug Authority, and the Uganda Council of Science and Technology, as well as Mulago Hospital Research Ethics Committee. The national guidelines involving human participants has been applied in the processing of this study. As you have heard, it is a randomized placebo double-blind study using a natural homegrown product codenamed UBV01N. The study objective is to assess the effectiveness of this natural product in the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Initially, the study will enroll adult COVID inpatients who have various degrees of severity of symptoms of COVID-19, from mild to severe. The study site will initially include Mulago, but later it will be expanded to other tertiary isolation facilities. The study will be monitored by an independent data and safe monitoring committee established by the health regulatory agencies. The findings and outcome of the study will be shared with all stakeholders and the public from time to time. Your Excellency, as you are aware, there are many other studies that have been done elsewhere, but having our own homegrown study is extremely important, and I want to appreciate you for all the initiatives you took during this time of the pandemic and your emphasis on science and technology. I would like to thank you for your exceptional encouragement and support during this time of the pandemic, and in particular, for your initiative to fast-track research through PRESIDE, which is funding this study. We request that this initiative be expanded to respond to urgent emerging and re-emerging illnesses and infections. I would also like to appreciate the National Task Force members for the great work that they have been doing in controlling this pandemic. I'd like to thank the government for the support in procuring and delivering to us some of the state-of-art equipment that is vital for this work that is ongoing. In a special way, I would like to appreciate the Ministry of Science and Technology, with whom we have been working very closely with. I would like to appreciate the team at the Natural Chemotherapeutics Research Institute, headed by Dr. Nambatia, at Makerere University School of Public Health, for staying awake at night, because I told them during this pandemic there should be no sleep, and indeed, Your Excellency, there has been very minimal sleep because we must work hard. As you had clearly indicated, this is Kisanja Hakuna Mchezo. And I want to believe that is what has kept us going with this pandemic. I would also like to thank Mulago Specialized Hospital for hosting the study, and the health research regulatory agencies for thoroughly scrutinizing the protocol to ensure quality assurance and validity. As I conclude, allow me to appreciate our partners, the World Health Organization and all the teams that we work with, and our partners in traditional medicine who are here today, who have helped us in sourcing and preparations of these drugs.